Hey, calm your collective tidies.
But they're not calm. They're quite tight and white.
You ever get that feeling where hang on a second. 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 Okay, that's the anime I want to watch later because I was told it was good. Hang on a second, I gotta fix my camera now. I was looking up weird animes to watch, and Is This a Zombie came up. What? No, I do not want performance mode. What the heck is performance mode? Gosh darn it, I hit properties. Oh, it just wouldn't be. It just wouldn't be. Let's see here. That one. And it's still not working. Why are you not working? There's another file there. Hang on a second. I'm just going to freak out here. Discord. Properties. Click the window. What the heck? Where is it? 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 Where is everybody? Did I accidentally shut off Discord or something? What the?
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay. Hang on a second. For some strange reason, it's not showing up. So let me do that real quick. And then I'm going to go back to Discord here. And there we go. Okay. We're good now. Yeah, there's this anime out called Is This a Zombie, which looks really weird. I wanted to check it out.
I feel like I've seen that before. I'm still searching for the one anime I watched on Netflix years ago. Nobody seems to know what it is.
Oh?
Including you.
Well, I wouldn't be asking around if I knew what the fuck it was. Sarcasm, children. It's a violent weapon. Without using children as weapons?
That would be an interesting. That would be an interesting weapon.
Did you just say using children as weapons?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. What's that wrong?
Divorced parents do that all the time.
But Wah.
Well, for saying using children as weapons, that'd probably be tank girls, wouldn't it?
Ouch, yeah, or Panzer. And I'll go over here, and then I'll paste it down here so Deathgasm can see it. There's the link, Deathgasm. Now you can post it to your friend. And now, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, and thank you for joining us once again, the Monsters of Gaming. I'm Kaiju. Once again, we're screwing up K. And with me here is Sweating to Death, Juggernaut Jared.
Hello.
Not quite here, Deathgasm.
I'm here.
Mentally. Too much money for his own good, Necro Nick.
Hello.
Smiling and profiling, Bro Vanity.
Hello.
Hiding in the Orange Wonderland, Subliminal.
Hello.
And playing Mario Kart in the background for some reason, Mama Bear.
Howdy, howdy.
Now, folks, it's
Hey,
finally...
Mama, do you want to play Mario Kart together while on stream?
Anyways, as you can see by the
I don't know how to
by the
do that.
bouncing background here, today is the finals. I'll have to get Deathgasm to send me his survivors, and along with the others to send me their survivors. I think you guys actually did survivors, didn't you? Rebel?
Yeah, everyone except for Deathgasm.
So I have to get him to do a survivor. So tonight...
And me, because I dubbed out early because of my tooth pain.
Right. Well, you can just send me your survivor information and everything. So, in case you guys didn't catch it from last week, once I get all this down, I'm going to take it to the Dead by Daylight custom characters server, and I'm going to post all of our characters, both the villains and the heroes, and see what the people think about them. And then in about a week or two, I'll bring everybody the results and see what everyone thinks. So, just to throw it out there, I'm exceptionally tired. Jared is melting to death. Mama Bear is... Well, she had to deal with me all day, so that's bad enough. So, in case we're not all here, we're not all here. But collectively, is there anybody who wants to volunteer to go first, or do they just want me to jump in there and throw my character into the ring? Throw my character into the ring it is, then. Okay, so my character is based off of duality. More or less, it's based off of the thought of what-ifs. Now, throughout life, everyone has what-ifs. Some of them are darker than others.
Hey, go.
Hey, Waddle, you interrupted me in the middle of my conversation. What?
Just quick question. Is that 3 perks that we have to have?
3 teachable perks, yes.
Okay.
Deathgasm, I did post the link in case you want to send it to her. I can see you're a little busy right now. I didn't even understand what he said.
I'm pretty sure she... I said I did already.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, give me a second. It's right here. Boink. I just destroyed everything in the room to throw that to her. Anyways, so as an infantry soldier, I have to deal with a lot of issues and a lot of dark thoughts. It's not fun. Sometimes I get panicky at a group of people. Sometimes I just have to duck out and run. I have panic attacks, depression. Sometimes I just can't sleep. Always thinking about the what-ifs. So, my hero is Kaiju K, but my villain is Kyle Davison. That's right, it's me, also known as the Veteran. There's a lot of vets out there that have to deal with things. The Veteran is just another version of me. A time in my life where I could have turned right or turned left. Kaiju K is what happens when I turned right, but this villain is what happens when I turned left. Leaving his house and going to live on the streets, he's constantly tormented, starving, fighting for life. And one day he watches a bunch of punks go beat down an elderly man to death just to steal his wallet. Well, he snaps. During a rainstorm, he follows them back to their little hideout, and with some military knowledge and some improvised explosives, slaughters every single one of them in a trap-filled lair, forcing them to make decisions and learn lessons. Unfortunately, none of them learned. Not a single one. And as such, not a single one made it out alive. But that rush...
Why does that sound like a Saw thing?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember Saw ever using improvised explosives.
Oh, okay.
Or going after people for justice instead of just because he was a Swiss to death. But anyways, long story short, he decided that the town, it needed some more justice. He began to hunt down people, stalking them, destroying them mentally over months and months, trying to teach them right ways. And whenever one of them failed, he took their life as well. This went on for months until one day, he looked through a mirror and saw something on the other side, something that made him question himself. He saw some muck-faced idiot that looked a lot like him talking to his friends on a YouTube channel. And when he reached out to touch the mirror, the entity grabbed both of them. As you all know, last week, you already got to meet the hero and my special perks, including Happy Camper, which I still think is a great perk.
Which we needed last night.
Yeah, we needed that last night. That would have saved Deathgasm.
Deathgasm. That was just DVD. Got Happy Camper.
So my weapon is a hunting knife with a knuckle duster attached to it. I wear a pitch black suit, very loose fitting, and a mask that covers the eyes. I talk very calmly. I'm very quiet. I have the standard terror radius. I'm 110% movement speed, so I'm not the fastest. My first power is IED trap, improvised explosive device. I can have 3 of these activated at one time, anywhere on the map. They're a small device that can stick to walls, ceilings, the floor. They give a little chirp when they're activated, and they give a beep every 30 seconds. A survivor can come up and sneak up to it and try to fix it by solving 3 quick time events. If they do, they disarm the trap. If they don't, it detonates. And if they don't sneak in that targets them, it detonates anyway. It has a standard radius of 12 meters, which can be increased or decreased by perks. It will damage everyone in the radius for 1 health stage. I will inflict them with incapacitated, which, in case you didn't know, means the only things you can do for the next 15 seconds are things such as vault, drop pals, etc. You can't heal, take people off the hooks, work on generators, etc. But it also inflicts a new status effect. Deafened. For 60 seconds, all you hear is a ringing sound in the ear. No noises, no stomping, no screams, no notifications of any kind that are based on sound. And of course, you can't hear my heartbeat coming after you. Now, of course, people who are behind cover when it detonates will still take damage and become deafened, but they won't become incapacitated. It's an explosive after all. Now, I can only have 3 at a time. It doesn't mean I can't put another one down, but if I put one more down, the other ones go poof. But that's not the worst part about me. The worst part about me is my passive. Forced perspective. The only way to learn is to focus. What this does is locks your character into first-person mode. That's right. Your survivor is stuck in first-person mode. That means you get the same view the killer does, which means if you're trying to find the killer, you actually have to look around while you're working on generators and such. Then it gets better, my friends. This comes with a whole set of perks. All kinds of nasty little things on it. First of all, it comes with the added bonus that when you're working on a generator or healing a survivor or anything that's based on a skill check, the skill checks will only show up on the device or on the person. So if you turn away to look for the killer and the trap and it goes off, it will go off without you seeing it. Which means you actually have to focus on the generators while you're working on them. Pretty mean, huh? It just gets worse from there. It does. From this comes a series of debuffs that are added depending on the area. For instance, when you're working on a generator or while you're injured and grunting in pain, my terror radius for you to hear it is 8 meters shorter. This, of course, stacks with each one, so if you're working on a generator while injured by yourself, you'll have me at half my terror radius, so I'll show up at 16 meters for you. When working within 8 meters of a generator being worked on by another survivor, a different generator, not the one you're working on, or when you're near an injured survivor, you also get a stacking bonus. So if 3 of you guys are all working on a generator at one time and you're all injured, you can't hear me coming. And since you're in first-person mode, chances are you won't see the red stain either. When you're within 12 meters of an activated generator, it gives you a debuff. And when you're within range of a boon totem, it gives you a debuff. Because all these things make noise and can throw off your focus. If you get 4 stacks of these, you'll become blinded and oblivious for 60 seconds. Now, these will go away after 10 seconds of you leaving the area or healing yourself. So you can get rid of them. And Iron Will and No Mither will have the effect. So if you're running Iron Will or No Mither, you will only get half the effect. I'm actually thinking of throwing Calm Spirit in there too. Seeing as that's about to get a buff too. What this means is my happy button is free to sneak around the map and you guys have to find me before I find you. The lesson learned is, be careful where you're going and be careful of your surroundings. Head on a swivel, everybody. That's the military way. From there, we can move on to my 3 perks. They've been re-evaluated and rehashed since last time, so they're no longer the same perks. There's first is Alone in Thought. When a survivor is not within 32, 24, or 16 meters of another survivor for 4 seconds, they gain the Oblivious status effect until they are within the 32, 24, or 16 meters of another survivor for 4 seconds. This means that if you're one of those guys that decides to run off on your own and you're away from everybody else, you're screwing yourself. Of course, a little notice will pop up when it's activated so you know to run back to somebody else. Also, this perk cancels out the perk Discordance. So if you try to use this with Discordance to try and find 2 people working on a generator, it will not work. Next is Maddening Thoughts. Because my character is all about oppressing the opponents with a gravity of darkness and fear, while this totem is while this is active, whenever a survivor works on a generator, by themselves, they slowly build the madness meter, just like the Doctor does. If you all remember the Doctor, you know what happens when that madness meter goes up. It takes 60, 50, or 40 seconds to reach a level in madness, but if you miss a skill check, you'll gain 30 seconds of it. The only difference is, you don't see the illusionary doctors, and neither do I. They're not there. Finally, weighted strikes. Every 40, 30, or 20 seconds, as long as the survivor is injured, they receive a token. That's right. Y'all can be my token bitches. For a maximum of 3, 4, or 5. Each token adds a stacking 2, 3, or 4% penalty to repairing generators, healing survivors, healing yourself, unhooking survivors, or cleansing totems. A single totem will be removed every 60, 70, or 80 seconds the survivor goes without being injured. My character's basic play style is to force players to actually work as a team. Imagine that! People actually having to be a team. Like how we actually work. Well, most of us. Now let's throw on my 2 red add-ons. How do you know I met you?
Because I'm the one that hides in a locker when I feel like the killer's freaking stalking me.
There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't stay in there while your 3 buddies are bleeding on the ground. Right. Or happens to be the dredge.
Dredge.
Yeah, the dredge really screws that strategy over real quick. I'll throw my 2 red...
Bullshit at that point.
There you go, see? I already have a plan B. I'll throw in my 2 red add-ons real quick. They're going to my Mori and we'll move on. My first red add-on is called Silencing Strike. Whenever a survivor becomes oblivious or exhausted, they become exposed for the duration of that effect. This means people that are running around using dead hard and head on and everything got to be careful around me because they'll be exposed for the entire exhaustion effect. And the other one is called Rigging the Odds. With Rigging the Odds, I can't put down traps now. Instead, I have to rig them inside of a generator. While survivors work on the generator, random skill checks will pop up randomly. What? No. Will pop up randomly throughout the repair. If missed or a survivor attempts to leave the generator before it's finished, the explosion will detonate, damaging all nearby survivors and causing the generators to regress by 350% until they are either fully disrepaired or a survivor begins working on it. So this means that while I can't leave a bomb, say, in a doorway or at a vault point or something like that, I can just put them inside your generator, and you're forced to fix them, or else you blow yourself up. Yay! After this, I just have my 2 Moris. Yes, I have 2 different Moris. I have my standard and what happens when I run into Kyle, aka Kaiju K. My standard Mori is I throw some black powder in your eyes, basically what I'm using to make the explosives. You stumble back for a few seconds. I throw something behind you, you turn to see it, and I kick you down on top of it and hold you down with my boot as the bomb detonates in your chest. I then walk away. The other one is when I run into Kaiju K and kill him. With this Mori, the entire entity that I am turns into a black mist and surrounds Kaiju K, with the mask falling to the ground. After a few seconds of grunting and screaming, my hand reaches down and grabs the mask, and I look up with my eyes glowing green, and I put the mask back on, laugh, and continue killing. That's my killer. My killer is all about teaching people to work together. Because sadly, if you work together, you can screw my killer over real quick.
Isn't that what the dredge was supposed to do?
No, the dredge was to screw people over who were hiding in lockers while their friends were doing things. You know, those people that hid in the lockers for like the last 6 minutes of the game? Dredge was designed to screw those people over. And he does with vigor. He reaches up, fondles them massively, and puts them on a hook.
Oh, fondling.
Whipping as well. Yes.
Oh no.
Should I bring out the whipping boys? All right, well, I see Necro breathing happy and heavy over here, which means he's ready. Either that or I'm hallucinating. Either way works.
If not, I'll go.
Oh, we have a volunteer. Be my guest.
Okay. I have an idea for a killer. I just could be because I've never really played DD. I know I might need some help with the perks.
Hey, what do you think we're here for?
But okay, my idea is this, like, twisted, like, Little Mermaid kind of killer, where she has like a water tornado around her to like move.
Right.
and is able to like send out like tentacles and grab people.
Oh.
That kind of sounds like a mixture of two killers from my MVV, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like the main body of Naiad and the powers of fucking the Feaster.
Hey, listen.
Well, I've never played that game either, so...
Hey, whatever works, works. So
It works, I mean...
You have a mobile monster that can throw tentacles out, grab people, and drag them in like Scorpion. Get over here!
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's different.
There's lots of killers that have similar powers, but you can make this one your own. Poor Juggernaut over there's dying. Juggernaut, don't die on me!
Juggernaut, if it's really hot tomorrow, you're more than welcome to come and chill in our pool. It's not big, but it'll keep you cool.
I love pools.
See? Little pool.
Oh, sure, she's in her pool! She's actually chilling in her pool! Oh, what an absolute beast! Beast with a B-E-A-S-T! Oh, yeah! Literally kicking back, chilling. I love it. I love it. I wasn't wrong then. I wasn't wrong with what I said earlier either. I wasn't wrong. Okay. So is she like an ambush? Would you say she was more of an ambush killer or more of a I'm just going to get you kind of killer?
A little bit of both.
Ah. So how about this?
Like,
We could have her work like this. She can create little puddles of water around the map that she can teleport to. And she can also throw out tentacles to try to bring people in closer.
yeah.
There, now you have mobility and then a way to get a hold of somebody and give them the heebie-jeebies. And of course, as my character, Kaiju K, would naturally be terrified and be running for his life. Too many tentacles. Not something I want to be near. No, 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 no. I've heard horror stories about what happens to people near tentacles.
For her Mori.
Ooh, what's her Mori? We have an idea for a Mori.
Well, she has this hurricane type thing that she travels with, right?
Right,
Kind of like the Dredge has his cloud of smoke.
right.
Why doesn't she use the tentacles to drag them into her whirlpool?
Because I can think of a reason why everyone right now is giggling at the thought of her pulling them into her whirlpool. At least the Dredge is a mass of creatures. I mean, it's a good idea.
Okay,
It's just...
I like her idea, but I also had an idea.
Okay.
What if, in the beginning of the Mori, the survivor gets put into a bubble of water, and the tentacles spin her around until it goes so fast that her head spins off.
Ooh, that could be pretty bloody too. I like that.
And then for the final moment, the water turns red.
There you go. And then it just splashes onto the ground, just a puddle of red.
Exactly.
All right. Well, you know what? That works too. As for the perks and everything, we can get back to that on a later date. You know. Sub, if you wouldn't mind helping her out, you know, we have till Friday. That's when I'm going to put everything up.
Well, I thought of one.
Okay.
You're not getting out, doggy, so shut the fuck up. I'm pissed at you.
What the?
One of the perks could be when in a certain radius of the killer, the survivor slows down.
Ooh, like a hindrance bubble. I like that.
I like that.
However, that will have to have a cooldown. It can't work constantly or else, you know.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
But hey, that works.
You have to basically be inside of the terror radius.
Right. Well, that works. That works until you do something stupid like me, who gave everybody Oblivious, and then tried to run after them with powers that worked while they were in my terror radius to realize it doesn't fucking work. Why aren't my perks working? Why aren't my abilities working? Oh, that's right. I technically don't have a terror radius. Oh no! Oh no! I have foobarred myself on the royalist of levels. Oh no! I remember doing that 3 times actually. That's 3 different killers. It was funny to watch myself sneak up as Ghostface and my perks weren't working on you guys.
How about a new hook perk? Once the survivor is hooked, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can even unhook them.
Ouch! The entity holds them there for a few seconds. That would screw me over.
That way it's not an instant unhook.
Right.
And then for the third perk,
I thought he was going to see for the third port there for a second. For the third port? Wrong game.
For the third pork, we'll put it on the grill.
Salted. Salted pork.
For the third perk, when people are from a certain distance, like say across the map, they'll let out a scream every few minutes.
Ooh.
Kind of like infectious fright when you hit somebody down and it makes everyone scream.
Siren song.
But the downside is if like say they figure out the timing, they could like circumvent that by like going into the locker or something.
Well, right, but the other thing is it only works outside of a radius.
Yeah.
Kind of like bubblegum, like the opposite of blood and chili. Or no, like blood and chili. So as long as you're within that radius, it doesn't work. It's still a powerful perk. I like it, you know?
Right. I didn't want to make it overpowered.
Right.
But, you know.
It works. None of my perks are overpowered. No one's perks are allowed to be overpowered. We've already said that. No. Mine are annoying, but not overpowered. Mine screw with people. Mine's going to be really powerful against people with no mither because they can't heal themselves. So if I hit them with my weighted strike perk, they're just constantly going to have a negative effect. Take that, no mither players. Haha. Okay, well, Necro, sorry to interrupt your turn, but she said, "Hey, no problem. You actually volunteered. I have to jump on that. Plus, you're in a pool right now, so you can just chill out."
Okay, so for mine, the story goes that obviously we all know me, that I'm a big fan of fantasy, fiction, stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm kind of like Kaiju, but instead the enemy has kept my survivor as a survivor, but also duplicated me into a killer.
Ah. Where mine is a multiverse thing, yours is a copy.
Yours is a doppelganger.
Yeah.
Nick is the doppelganger.
Instead of me being just a normal survivor, it decided to have my fantasies become true for the copy.
Ah.
So it turned me into a vampire.
Okay. Because as we all know, Necro sucks.
What he sucks, I don't know, don't want to know.
So my weapon of choice is chain blade.
Chain blades, okay.
Yes, it has the...
Hey, Juggernaut, if you have to go, man, okay?
I already messaged you what I put.
That's what I'm reading.
I'll message you the updated one.
Okay, man, just calm down and peace out, man. You could listen to the live chat if you want. We'll see you later, man.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, peace out.
Peace
out, man.
You'll get better, man. You'll get better. Juggernaut had a small panic attack. He doesn't know what's going on right now. It's probably the heat, so he's going to step out. So, Vampire Chainblade McGee over here.
Yeah, so the chain blades will have a dual use of, just normal short-handed weapon. It also will have the ability that it can be flung not a extremely long distance to try and pull people in closer to them.
Man, we got a lot of people trying to get closer to other people.
So, my power itself is
Spartan Rage! Oh, sorry.
No. Night Stalker.
Just saying, he seemed like Kratos for a second there. I was just making sure, you know.
So its main ability is it turns into night, like the area.
Yeah.
And then it increases my speed by 5%, and also increases my hearing by 64 meters.
Wow. So you can really hear somebody. I sure hope you close those ears when one of my bombs goes off. It deafens a regular survivor for 60 seconds. I need to see what happens to him.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Gotcha! A what?
has a passive ability to it as well. Knockdowns increase durations, and blood trails and scratch marks don't disappear while it's nighttime.
Okay, so you're the dredge.
The dredge is not completely like that.
He's Deathslinger and the dredge.
Anyway, so as add-ons for it, I have Coffin Drop,
Okay.
which allows weapons to be dropped for the killer to go rest, and depending on how long he rests depends on how much what it does.
Oh, so you're a sleepy boy.
So for 5 seconds, it increases like the ability to get Night Stalker back by 25%.
Okay.
For 10 seconds, it'll be 65%, and for 15 seconds, it'll be 100%.
Okay, so in other words, in order for you to use your Night Stalker ability, you have to rest.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see how that would be. Okay, so Night Stalker turns everything to night, makes it harder to see, makes you hard to hear, and blood trails and scratch marks don't go away. That's quite a powerful perk, and has quite a powerful downside too.
Yes.
That's a 15 seconds is a hell of a time to nap on that map. That's a sixth of a generator done.
Right. That's why I figured it was kind of like a fairish.
No, I agree.
Thing.
I agree. Being so rich makes Necro tired easier. He's got to carry around that heavy wallet all day.
Hence the vampirism.
As a second, like add-on, obviously, it's True Form, which increases speed by 15% and hearing by 128 meters.
Damn! So you can hear people across the freaking map.
And it makes everyone's heartbeat show up every 2.5 minutes when Night Stalker is active.
Oh, so it has a cooldown as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I figured that would make it fair.
That does make it fair. You're super powerful, but once that power is gone, it is gone.
Yes.
It's kind of like the Trickster's ultimate that I've yet to pull off. You know, once that thing activates and you have unlimited homing freaking knives, it wipes people the fuck out. But once it's done, it is done. You have to wait.
So I decided to do my way before my perks.
Okay.
So when you do your moray, you eliminate the survivor, but they don't leave the game. They actually come back to help the survivor out.
Okay.
To sabotage the other survivors.
So how's that helping the survivor? You mean he comes back to get the killer? To help the killer?
Huh?
You mean to help the killer?
Yeah, and then you help the killer.
I was going to say, we're going to help the survivors by sabotaging. Wait, what?
And also, it does not alert the other survivors that the survivor has been killed either.
Oh. I gotta say, you gotta be careful though, Necro, because unfortunately for you, Mama Bear already has a perk that screws you over.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've noticed this is a part of the game that I've noticed, it seems that survivor perks activate before killer perks do.
Yeah.
So when you go and mori somebody and Mama Bear has her premonition ability, you'll actually lose that ability because her premonition ability activates and take the person away from you. Oh, your power, your Mori has a sacrifice. Aha! We've nerfed his Mori already. We did it last week. So what do they do? What can they do?
Wait, what? Oh, they could like if they're doing like a if they decide to start working on a generator with another survivor,
Yeah.
it actually they will start slowing them down. it'll take longer to do the gen. If they're on a generator, they can also then make pallets go bye-bye as well that are dropped.
Okay. Well, you see, while that power does seem good, there's got to be a way to get rid of them. They can't be permanent. There's got to be a way to like notice or something, because right now you have a character that basically.
It'll be like the same way if like per se they accidentally click on a locker that teleports them out of the game. Complete, like into spectator mode. If the pallet gets dropped on them, that'll also do it, or near them. So if like the non-survivor is actually trying to like screw the other survivor and a pallet's dropped by him, he goes to spectator mode.
Right. Well, all I'm saying is that will work when somebody wants to screw over. Like, I'll play with that. That sounds like fun. But what do you do when the person doesn't want to play properly? What I'm saying is they probably just need like a timer or something that you just deteriorate over time.
Something like that,
Okay. That's a hell of a more.
So my first perk is called Bat Call.
Maytag calling!
For bats. Which works the same way as the crow, but every 5 minutes the crows will swarm a random survivor and give their position away for 10 seconds.
You mean the bats will?
Yeah. Bats.
Okay, so I'm guessing they have the shoo away function just like the birds do. From the artist.
Yeah, like if you're going by them,
Okay, so basically, with this perk activated, you'll be able to tell because the crows will be gone, there'll be little bats everywhere.
Yep.
Okay.
And then they occasionally.
That's not too powerful, but it's useful. You could definitely find somebody there.
I wasn't sure if I could lose, like, if you get them to stay on for like the full 10 seconds, you also then get slash.
Nah, that's too powerful. That's too powerful. I mean,
I thought that would be too powerful.
Yeah. I mean, they already activate like a crow. They'll probably be in different locations than crows, so people won't be expecting them. When they fly away, you'll get a notification, and every 5 minutes they'll fly out and bug somebody real quick. I mean, that's pretty good. I'd run that. I'd definitely run that one.
So the second perk is called Blood Loss, which decreases the healing of survivors like that get hit, obviously.
Okay.
And causes horror around them that causes other survivors that ain't hit that come within like 5 meters of them to start taking damage as well. And also put, like, if the killer is around, it will be a greater blood loss, or a greater health loss.
You see, that's just another form of attacking without attacking. We could do it where if a survivor stays a certain range from you, they also get the hemorrhage effect, kind of like it spreads.
Okay.
And since your character can already see friggin' blood marks and everything on the ground,
that's only one Night Stalker.
Right, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to make perks that are very useful for your killer, but also useful for others. You know, what I'm saying is, if everyone's hemorrhaged running around the map because they're trying to help each other, you kind of have the advantage of being able to get to them faster, you know, when you go into that mode. Okay. So, I mean, it could, you know, after like 10 seconds or something like that, if they're not trying to heal you, they get the hemorrhage. There you go. That's nasty.
So, then the third one is called Body Count.
Body count?
And, yes.
Okay.
Each time a killer hits or downs, it decreases the time for nightfall to happen.
No, you can't do that.
No?
Nope, because the perk has to affect all killers.
Okay.
Can't have. I mean, that can be an add-on. That can be an add-on, but it can't be. You know, not every. Are you saying that every killer can run Nightfall? Because if so, I'll slap that perk on my character real quick. I know Mama Bear would.
Sure.
Just everyone has Nightfall. You have Nightfall. You have Nightfall. You have Nightfall. Juggernaut has Nightfall. You all have. No, you can't do that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, the other part that I put, it might just need some tweaking
Okay.
for tokens, but pretty much each hit or down
Yeah.
you gain tokens that pretty much buff up your damage. And I put at 5 tokens, then it's insta down.
Okay, so how we could work this is for every token you get, you can damage a generator or break a wall or break a pallet, say, 3, 4, or 5% faster. And when you get 5 of them, you can instantly Mori somebody, but you'll lose all the tokens.
Okay.
And it'll just deactivate the power. Because that's pretty strong, but, I mean, see? There you go. By the way, how do you kill people with your Mori? You never explained that part.
Oh, I technically fight them. That's why they become a saboteur for me because they're trainers.
See, you see that? You see that sub? I'm not always the traitor.
That's a sad killer.
Ouch.
Well, not for nothing. You're a very powerful killer, but the downtime is pretty bad. I'm pretty sure. What I say is, with your ability to drop a coffin, I think that survivors should be able to lock the coffin if they can find it. That kind of force you to struggle inside for a few extra seconds.
Maybe.
Because if not, you could just go hide in a locker and rest. You know.
Right.
All right. Well, your killer is one of those killers that's very powerful at this point, like Myers is. But once your time runs out, you have to get all the way back up to full power again. And during that time,
it's supposed to be a stalker and power character combined.
So Myers.
Yes.
So other than the stalking and power, you have the ability to pull somebody towards you, but that's it, which means that basically you're a slightly weaker version of Deathslinger, but once your power activates, then you become tier 3 Michael Myers.
Yep.
Okay. I had to understand it. All right. So that's Necro down. So we're left with 2 more characters. No, wait, 3. So we have 2 people that are playing Mario Kart right now. So, Sub, you're up.
Well, you guys had at what my killer looked like last stream, which was basically, it's going to be like a hacker. He looks normal, except that he has a television screen for a face.
That's pretty normal.
I mean, you got to make it somewhat noticeable that he's the killer.
I know.
Somewhat.
You can have smiley face, be cross-eyed.
It can change.
It depends on the outfit.
And the mood. Like, if you drop a pallet on him, he gets that little X eyes things with a little squiggly mouth, like, ah!
Pretty much.
K-Man, I'm going to tell them about yours after this. K-Man has a full description of his killer.
Now, the story is that he was in the real world, he tried hacking a secret government, thing, and it turned out to be kind of like sort of online, he got sucked in.
Okay.
But it was actually an entity that dragged him in, he just thinks he's in the game.
Oh.
Which makes his ferocity worse because he thinks that it doesn't matter what happens to the people.
Ah, so to him, he's tricked. He just thinks he's in a game.
Right.
Okay, that's
pretty
pretty.
enjoying.
That's twisted.
Now, his weapon is a controller. It sounds weird, but it's a controller.
Okay.
It's a modded controller, basically. Now, his ability, his passive ability, is where if he hits somebody, they go. Instead of like 2 hits, they're down.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a slugging character, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Instead of 2 hits going down,
Yeah.
it would be 3 hits.
Oh.
And the reason I say 3, well, if you're not near anybody, it's 4 hits.
Whoa.
But if you're near somebody, it's 3 hits because the ability is, if you hit somebody while you're by someone, that person gets part of the injury.
Ouch! That's pretty nasty.
Yeah. I like that.
Now there's also the ability, like I said, like how Nemesis with his zombies, except it's robots.
Little robots, little wind-up keys walk around.
That you can set up at certain TV stations wherever they have their TVs in the map and everything, because it's going to be pre-done, because it's already there for the removal.
Right.
And everything. So basically, you can choose what TV to set one of your two robots by.
Okay.
Now there is a difference between the two. One's fast, and one hits hard.
Okay, so one's an annoyance, and one hits hard.
Right.
So what's the annoyance?
So basically, that's my killer. It's a slugging killer. It can be scary because you could switch the robots to any TV at any time.
Okay, so you can send these little robots around that act like zombies. One's fast, one's slower but hits harder, and it requires 3 to 4 hits for you to drop a survivor.
Right. The thing is, I didn't mention my killer speed, which is 130%.
Damn!
Hide in the locker.
Okay, so he's super fast, but it takes him 4 hits to down you. So I'm guessing 2 hits puts you into the injured state, 2 hits puts you into the dying state. Bless. No problem.
Right. It takes 3 to 4 hits depending if there's someone around. Which I'm sure people realize, hey, we should not stick near each other. It's basically to keep people from working on a generator together.
So your kill is the opposite of me, where I'm forcing people to work together. You're forcing them to stay away from each other.
Right.
Okay.
Now, that's not to say that the add-ons change things, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
May I make a suggestion? Just a slight suggestion?
What's up?
Okay, I like the killer so far, but I have an idea that could make it above the next level here. All right? How about we have the killer does the standard damage of 2 hits to drop a person? Okay? You have your robots, right? So let's have that they hit and they put a token on the person. If they get 4 tokens, the person goes down, but the robots can then grab the struggling survivor and drag them back into the TV, and they'll drop onto a random hook.
Ooh, I like
that. Yeah.
That way,
the robots can hook, but the killer can slug.
Right. That's the whole point, though. While you're slugging everybody, knocking everybody down, the robots are running and grabbing. Right. That way, your killer can still be a 2-hit killer. All right. The robots can be the little things they go over and screw with generators. They try to muck up people on generators, and then when a person goes down, they'll run over, grab the person, drag them into a TV, and then they'll go on a random hook, probably the furthest hook from everybody on the map.
Oh, in that case, let's make this more interesting. The robots are actually have life form.
Oh, well, they're little robots. I wouldn't expect them not to. But I do have to say that
think of it this way, Kai. You can blind zombies with Nemesis.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you could only drop okay, well, never mind. Well, that's fine then. Little robots, you try to drop a pallet on them, they just crawl underneath the pallet. I mean, they're small, I think that we could make your killer 115%. But how about this? When you have both little robots out, all 3 of you share a heartbeat.
Interesting.
That way you can still be the 115% killer, which, by the way, is still high speed in this game. And your robots can run around and trick people into thinking you're there. Not to mention, all you have to do is knock the person down, and then you can just walk away and watch your little robot drag them kicking and screaming into the TV.
It kind of fits your whole hacking system better anyway.
I mean,
there's also the fact that I didn't mention my active ability where I activated, which is I can do what Ringo does.
What, teleport from TV to TV?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can teleport from TV to TV, use the TVs to use the little robots. I'm guessing people can still shut off the TVs. So that'll be how they get rid of the robots. So they can find the TV that's active and turn it off. The little robot will disappear. But it doesn't matter because Sub does have a pretty powerful killer. This is the first time where a killer is not the only one who can hook you.
Yeah.
You summon a little robot, drop somebody by the little robot scurries out, grabs them, drags them into the TV, and drops them on a random hook. Now there's a lot of perks that are gone. A lot of struggle perks are gone because you can't like wiggle free fast enough because the little robot will drag you right into the TV.
Yep.
It works, man.
Now, do I still have the passive where if I hit somebody, someone else gets damaged? Or...
If you want to, yeah. If somebody's nearby, they'll both get. You'll instead of the going down instantly, they'll get tokens just like your robots give out.
Oh, okay.
That'll keep people from trying to stay close to each other. See? You work on a token system. The problem is, once they get 4 tokens, until they get hung, they can't get rid of them. And even when they get hung, they're still stuck with 2 tokens.
Right.
Your killer can be
move on to the perks.
if you don't mind.
The first perk is called Locked Out.
Okay.
Which is basically you can't touch any chests or lockers.
Okay, well, in order to make that really work, what you could do is you could do something like, what's that perk that blocks off the 3 furthest generators?
Been a while, give me a second.
It's not Lethal Pursuer. It's one of Nemesis' perks.
No, locking the 3 furthest generators is a play perk.
Is it play perk? Oh, okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What you could do is you could have the furthest, you could have all the chests and lockers shut at the beginning, but over time, they'll be able to be used again. That still gives you plenty of time. I mean,
yeah.
That's pretty powerful still. I mean, now you could, if you equip both of them, now they can't work on generators, go into lockers, or you open chests. You just want to screw Ace Visconti over, don't you? That's what this is. That's all this is. You just want to screw Ace Visconti.
No, I don't want to screw Ace Visconti.
The way I imagine it works is like, okay, so we have generators that have lockers and chests by them all the time. So what it should do is like start unlocking the ones that are furthest away from the generator, so it still makes the survivor have to go to it and give the killer time to pursue instead of having like close lockers and stuff.
Big, I already got ready for work.
I don't know. I was just
Alright.
that.
Alright, so, well, I like your ideas. I do.
I like your idea.
Customization of the perk. Now, my second perk would be called Dead Meat.
Uh-oh.
Since my robots can hook, and I want to make it so everybody can use the perk, it would basically be, it would make the hook timer go faster.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
That's all it's for. That's all it's for.
Okay,
Don't
that
make it
works.
overpowered. Now, there's also going to be, there's already Rebels perk, which, makes it so that they have to be on the hook for a certain amount of time anyways.
Right.
That would be a great combo, just saying.
Right.
There we go. The third perk.
Trying to get up a hair from your throat.
Probably animals. So it's probably fun.
Whatever you want to think, bud.
So what's the third perk do?
I got distracted, so I can't remember what the perk was.
Sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
So his killer is basically a get killer.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? The third perk, instead of being the 3 furthest generators, it'd be the mid-tier range.
Oh, could you imagine running both of them? There's now only a handful of generators left on the map.
That's why I said it.
Oh my goodness, let's see here.
The mooring would be interesting because basically the killer would let you sit up and pull a TV out of the ground, and you guys play like a quick ping pong battle. Like what that? Not quick break, but the OG game.
Ping. Oh, you mean
Pong, yeah,
yeah,
Pong.
Pong.
And the survivor loses, so he gets sucked into the TV halfway, and there's just half his body on the floor.
Oh, brutal. Brutal. All right. Well, I'm going to read them.
By the other survivors a lot of time.
It doesn't matter. I mean, look at some of the killers out there. I can't remember. I really believe it's Pinhead. But like one of the Moris out there takes like 15 seconds. It takes 15 fucking seconds. I mean, it can be brutal, man.
I didn't say it was going to be a quick match of Pong. It could be a few seconds.
And that's fine. What I'm saying is like a Mori is meant to be like
get hit twice or three times into their side, you know?
A Mori is supposed to be brutal, so that's a brutal Mori. I like it. Who cares if it buys off some time? Okay, so K-Man has a very long list here.
Just to make it a fun Mori, the survivor gets a skill check. The survivor survives. The longer the survivor survives the skill checks, the longer the Moris.
Ah, that's great.
That is cool.
So if the person dies quickly, the teammates can yell at their teammate for fucking on their Mori.
How can you lose at Pong? So K-Man here says,
Freaking match last with the Pong battle.
well, I'm pretty sure each skill check gets faster, so eventually you're going to lose.
Probably.
I think the maximum amount of time for the skill checks would probably be like maybe 10 seconds. Because the being pulled into the screen and only half your body is going to only be a few seconds. Like, not even a few seconds.
Okay.
Just to make it a fair Mori, you know. But the minimum amount of time for the Mori would probably be like 5 seconds.
That's all the time my Mori takes. My Mori is quick, done and over with.
Don't want to make it too long.
Okay. So K-Man here says, my villain is known as the Gambler. He wears a 1940s private eye uniform. His first ability, he flips a lucky coin. When it comes in contact with a survivor, he shoots his coin, and it holds them in place. So basically, he leaves trapped coins around. If you hit one of those coins, it holds you in place for him to come get you. Second ability is called Royal Flush. During this ability, he throws cards, and he kind of uses them like throwing knives. He can also use them to leave traps as well. So this guy's kind of a trickster and Kruger combined. Or sorry, trap.
Oh, I forgot
Better version of the trickster.
I forgot to mention that part of his passive is that there's fake pallets and everything. I forgot to mention that part because he's a hacker, so there's glitches and shit because he's hacked.
Okay.
I forgot to mention that part. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He also has a totem that when it's broken, he doesn't have a name for it, but when it's broken, it activates a perk called Cheat the House. And this causes all damage dealt by the killer to be doubled.
Oh, that's a nice name for it, though. Cheat the House.
Yep, and then he specifically says, Necro will love this. When my hunters hear a player scream, a purple mist starts to trail him. The mist fades if he can hide in time. So he's going to have perks that cause you to scream, and when you scream, a purple mist is going to start to track you, which he'll be able to follow. Juggernaut, he said robots. Nanobots would be cheating. All right, now, switching real quickly to Juggernauts. Juggernaut actually sent me his killer real quick. He's not feeling well, so we'll do the gracious thing and pop on and tell what it says. His killer is called The Void. The backstory is everyone has dealt with mental illness at some point in their life. The Void amplifies the dark side of your mental state. You can never escape mental illness. His power says the killer can manifest your deepest, darkest fears and use them against you. He doesn't add any actual detail into that, but we'll find out on another day. He comes with 3 teachable perks. Hex Depression. This perk will cause sadness when within 5 meters of a survivor and cause slowness as long as the killer is chasing you. AKA, as long as this perk is active, you'll have an aura around you, and if somebody happens to run through that aura, they'll be hindered for a few seconds. Dark thoughts. The obsession has dark thoughts, and every 45, 30, or 20 seconds will reveal itself and any survivors within a 5-meter radius around it. And finally, anxiety. The survivor is hindered for 5 seconds, and the killer gains...
Well, hold on, does that mean that perk is a token perk?
What, the dark thoughts?
Yeah, because it's the 30 in the grasping time and stuff.
That's the different levels of it.
Okay, so it is a token perk?
No, at level... When you have it as a level 1 hex, it takes 45 seconds to activate.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Thank you.
No problem.
I just want to make sure.
And we're going to have to change that to 8 meters, Jared, because I think they only go in 8-meter quantity, or quantities of 4. Don't worry, 8 meters is fine. So basically, as long as that's on there, you don't want to be anywhere near the obsession. Thank you. And finally, he has anxiety. Whenever a survivor is unhooked from a hook, the survivor is hindered for 5 seconds, and the killer gains haste for 5 seconds.
Oh.
Finally, he has his Mori Shadow Kill. The killer causes the survivor to go catatonic. So I'm guessing that he basically, just forces them to go freaking stiff as a board and fall to the ground. Well, I'm gonna guess that his power has something to do with screwing with your mind, kind of like the Doctor's does, which is pretty cool. We'll find out on a later date. Juggernaut and me can get together on a later date and work this all together, and then we'll pop it up on a later time. So and then there were 2. There was the Gasm of Death, and there was the Bear That Was Mama. And seeing as the Bear That Was Mama is currently racing around the track, I guess the Gasm of Death, the mightiest of orgasms of death, the Deathgasm himself.
Okay, I actually created a new killer from the last time and a new survivor from the last time. Just because I have a better understanding.
Right, now that you understand the game.
Yes.
So who do you want to give out first?
Honestly, you won't be able to fight, well, really fair against my killer unless you have the survivor on the team.
We'll see about that, Tiny Tim. We'll see about that.
Okay, so the map that would be on is a sludge factory.
Ah, a waste removal factory, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay, that stinks.
The killer is going to be basically a humanoid sludge monster.
Ooh. Okay, you have my attention.
Honestly, it's going to look more human, but do you guys remember from the one Scooby-Doo film where it kind of just drags across the floor, like it don't walk?
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to move like that.
Okay.
But its passive is going to have goo. When he walks, he leaves a trail behind him.
Okay.
How long does that trail last?
15 seconds.
That's not too bad.
Okay.
That's about what Pyramid Head leaves behind.
Yeah.
Except his is passive, so.
That's what the sludge monsters is. It's
right, that's what I said. No, yours is passive, his isn't. That's why I'm saying you have the advantage. You have the advantage.
But when a survivor steps in it, it slows them down for 40 seconds.
Ooh.
Ow.
It'll probably have to have some kind of skill check where you can run away and try to scoot your boot or something. But that's great power. I like that. Slowing down the survivor like that is passive. That's pretty cool. Wish the clown could do that. I have to throw a bottle at you. He can just walk.
Its weapon is his arm is gonna just have spikes on it, and it extends a little bit further than it looks.
Okay. Well, we already have characters that do that, so.
Huh?
We already have characters that have weapons like that, so that's still pretty cool. I mean, trust me, a lot of people are surprised just how long of a reach things like the Oni, Pyramid Head, or even the Death Gunner or Death Slinger actually have with their weapons. There's actually an extensive reach with those weapons. It doesn't look it, but there's actually a pretty extensive reach with them.
Yeah.
Or Freddy, because everyone calls it a cheater, reach.
Well, yeah, well, he's basically got the same thing, except he leaves a trail that slows you down, and Freddy just... Let's not talk about Freddy.
I love Freddy. What's wrong with Freddy?
Which Freddy? Original Freddy or new Freddy?
I don't know. What's new Freddy like?
You played new Freddy.
I like new Freddy.
You'd like new Freddy. You'd like new Freddy. So anyways, Deathgasm. So you leave a trail of slime. You have a spiked arm that extends a little. I like that. I just like the fact that it's a slime monster, you know?
Yeah. One of its perks is Earth's learned abilities.
Yeah?
It's going to be called Trail of Darkness.
Okay, I like it so far.
When you step in the passive, it leaves little blueprints behind you that stay around for 45 seconds.
You'll have to make that an add-on, because remember, it has to affect perks have to affect everyone. But that's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
You leave little glowing blue footprints around. Great, now he can find you faster. And he knows which way you're facing, because he can see where the footprints are going.
Yep.
Man, if only the spirit had that, then it'd be a lot easier for her.
Another one would be generator block.
Okay.
It allows a random generator for 25 seconds every time someone gets hit.
Oh! Okay. That could be a teachable
It don't
perk right
matter
there.
how many times he hits someone, it just locks down a random generator, and if a person's walking on one, they take damage.
How about they scream instead and step back? That'll let you know where they are as well.
Yeah,
That's
I think
still...
that actually works better.
Plus, you got to realize that if you hit a survivor twice in a row, that's 2 generators taken out for 25 seconds. And they have to go save that survivor. That's a pretty mean perk right there. That's a teachable perk right there. I'd run that. I'd fucking run that.
I would too. You know how much... I would just run the hay and freaking trap you guys with that. Freaking just keep fucking spawning around, hitting, spawning.
Could you imagine the trickster with his knife throw? I just hit you 9 times. Every generator shut down.
That would be horrible.
Actually, you stated when they're damaged, so it wouldn't work that way. But still, that is a pretty cool perk. I like that. What else you got?
Another one is when a survivor is hit, it takes longer for them to heal or recover.
Oh.
Or be picked up.
Oh, so basically it slows down all attempts to heal.
Sunlock.
Okay. That's nice. What's the slime monster's actual ability?
Are you like... I'm trying to think which is the actual ability. Like that's the one, like, the Death Slinger is the gun, right?
Right. Yeah. Because, I mean, that passive slime trail is pretty cool. What does he do? Throw a ball of gunk at somebody and stop them or slow them down? Because that's pretty cool, too. That could be a pretty nasty ability.
I was actually more thinking, like, projectile-wise, his arm that has the spiked back, or spiked arm.
Yeah.
The spike on the front, it shoots out and slows the person down.
Okay, you know what? That
by 50%.
For a few seconds. That works. That could be pretty nasty. Brings up, fires it. If it hits you.
And he ain't no slow freaking slime monster.
No, listen, even if he isn't, all his abilities right now slow down the survivors. You could make him as fast as the nurse, and you'd still be catching up with everybody. I mean, they can't do pallet runs around you because they'll step into the slime.
That would nerf you big time, Kaiju.
Oh no, I would just stop doing pallet runs. I would just start vaulting every window and get the hell out of Dodge. I would be more...
I believe the word is W key.
Holding the W key, yes. So your killer does a really fantastic job of keeping survivors from being able to run you.
If you can tell, that's kind of a reason I built this character for someone like me who hates people running them like that.
Oh, right, and that's even if you took his regular ability and got rid of it, that slime trail alone screws people over.
You do realize this build is just because you exist.
Well, that's fine. If you didn't notice, all my characters' perks for my survivor were to go up against people like you.
I think we both have the same idea, and we're like pointing loaded guns at each other across the field right now.
Yeah, but right now my gun's facing myself. Ha! I'll do it! I'll shoot! Put your gun in death, Casimir, I'll shoot! Put it down, Kyle! No, I'll shoot! Down!
Did I say the third teachable yet?
No.
Well, this one's another lock eye.
Of course, who would have thought it?
And it's going to be called Vision Block.
Oh.
When all 4 people have one hit on them,
okay,
their vision is reduced by 50%.
Ooh. Ooh. That and thanatophobia, that's horrible. Now, if I may make a suggestion to you, a way to make your character even more of an annoying slowdown killer, I have an idea for you. Okay? We go back to your regular ability, okay, where you're going to shoot the spike out. Now, instead of shooting the spike out, you shoot out a glob of your own self, okay? Now, wait, follow me with this. If it hits them, it damages them, slows them. But if it doesn't, it splats on the ground and leaves a trap. If they run through the trap, it grabs them and holds them in place.
That's 10 times fucking better than anything I would have ever thought of.
So now you have a slowdown, a ranged attack slowdown, a stun, a way to block vision, a way to block pallets and windows, a way to block those. I guess you could say that against him, the game's going to slow down to a crawl. I like this. I want to play against this killer. This killer sounds fun. I want to play against him.
And the Amori.
Oh, I'm terrified about the Mori. I have an idea of what it is, but I'm terrified of it.
It's probably the most violent thing I could have ever thought of.
Okay.
It knocks you down, goes inside your mouth, and shoots out every pore of your body.
Yep, I saw it coming. He forces himself.
Doesn't sound that violent. I could have swore I thought something worse.
Well, if you think about it, he forces himself to the point where your eyes burst, your ears fire out, your mouth fires out, and just to say, probably the back of your pants fires out too.
You know what would be funny? Instead of that, you do like everyone remembers Roger Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
How the villain gets melted into the toxic waste. If it looks something like that.
Well,
where he just pulls them in and incinerates them.
Yeah, slowly dissolves them. Either
I
way
remember
works.
doing a lot more than how you just explained it.
His is basically he fires it, shoots down your mouth, and everything that can have pus come out of it has his pus come out of it and slowly melt them. Your ears, your eyes, nose, mouth, other portions of your body that don't have to be mentioned. Just and then your body's just a melted puddle of ooze. You know, there's just nothing left. I have to say, Deathgasm, that compared to your original killer, I like this killer 1,000 times better. You know why I like this killer so much? Because you chose the killer the way I chose the killer. To stop people from screwing around and doing things you hate. That's the point of my killer. My killer is to screw with people that they do things that just anger me. So my killer is specifically designed to take care of those people. Just like yours.
Yeah. Although my survivor, kind of boring in a way. Just a sludge-backing worker.
Well, the survivor's you.
Well, yeah.
So you're not boring.
But his passive is he wears boots that the slime trail does not affect.
Well, how about this? We can change that. How about we make it that he wears a pair of boots that prevent any type of ground-based trap from activating? That means you screw over Pyramid Head. That means you screw over the Trapper. That means you screw over, like I said, Pyramid Head, Freddy. That means you screw over any of the characters who have ground-based traps and your killer.
So wait, that's a perk or a passive? Because I don't remember survivors having passives.
No, that's a perk, a teachable perk.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. So, I mean, it works on a handful of killers, but basically what it does is it basically says F you to any type of traps on the ground. So you can really screw over a handful of killers doing that. What else do you got? What other perks does your survivor have? Don't tell me he has hard hat or something like that.
He actually has engineering box.
Okay.
Which is like the toolbox or whatnot.
Okay.
But it's a rechargeable one.
Oh.
That makes you work on generators faster.
Okay, so what you're saying is you have an ability that starts you off with a toolbox that you can then go recharge probably by hopping into a locker or something, right?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty... I wouldn't mind starting off with something like that. That's actually like putting 3 perks together into 1 perk. I like that. So if you don't bring anything and you have this equipped, you'll always start off with a toolbox. That's pretty good.
And, his other 2 teachable perks...
Well, you only got 1 teachable perk left.
I thought the toolbox would be in the spot in the upper corner, like where it has the 2 atoms.
We're not creating our own.
No, you're
We're not creating our own equipment.
Oh. Well, that's just an item. That's so what he's saying is he has an item he's adding that's a rechargeable toolbox.
Although an equipment creation for DVD would be a great stream idea.
Yep, I like it. That's an equipment item. You're sold. I'm sold on it. At least it's not a shake flashlight where it looks like your character's J-ing it, you know? Powered up.
Like word making equipment.
Oh, you made one. What are your 2 teachable perks after that?
Say again, Kyle?
So what are your other 2 teachable perks?
One of them's going to be called Engineer's Eye.
Okay.
Where it gives you a 25% increase on working on a generator and passing skill checks.
Okay.
Makes it easier and faster.
So that'll be your
like that would have been nice to have as a noob. Like I'm getting better at the skill checks, but still that'd be a great perk to rock because 25% faster at it.
Well, I mean, they already have perks that make you like use items 20%, 25% slower and things like that. So that could work, yeah. And it's not like it's affecting everything. It's only affecting generators, so that's perfectly okay. And what's your last one?
My last one is Quick Start.
Quick Start.
It gives you an advanced warning when the killer gets into about 20 meters of you. Gives you a quick time, freaking get off generator and run.
Oh.
It don't tell you when the killer. It's only when you're working on a generator that works. That alerts you.
Okay. So when a killer gets in within, say, 24 meters of you, it'll bing.
I think that would help the people that get first-person trapped by your killer.
It could work.
And have to look at the generator.
Well, even if it were to give them the awkward warning of me showing up, they still got to get off the generator to look for me. And if I happen to be running the one that traps the generator, if they get off it, it'll detonate the generator anyway. But still, it is a pretty good one. 24 meters, it gives you a little warning. Hey, it'll probably have to have a cooldown on it, but hey, the killer's coming after you. You might want to start running now. Plus, it only works when you're on a generator. I like it. All his ideas are thematical. They're all based on him actually having a theme. Well, now that I see that Mama Bear has stopped playing the game for 2 seconds. I see her gold medal. Her I won the entire thing. Mama Bear, true or false? You have a killer.
True.
True or false? You ready to talk about the killer?
True.
True or false? You're going to talk about the killer.
True.
Let's do this!
Okay. I just added some extra stuff to the killer that I made previously.
Okay. So, Mama Bear's killer, in case you don't know, is called the Hybrid. She has the ability to switch between a vampiric form and a lichen form. Just to catch you guys up on it. So, Mama Bear, what's your killer do now? Now that you've fixed it. She's got this evil laugh back here. I don't like this.
Well, let's see here. She automatically has what the hell is the name for it now?
What?
Hemorrhage.
Oh yeah. Whenever her killer's special because in her vampiric form, she can't actually down you. She can only attack you and put you in an injured state. She can never actually officially put you down in her vampiric form. However, when she strikes you, you'll get the hemorrhage effect and the broken effect, which means you can't heal yourself and you'll begin bleeding out. So you have to find someone to save you. However, that's a problem because as you're running around bleeding, what is Mama Bear doing?
I'm collecting blood orbs to build up my
Transformation.
So
during this time, while you're running around, she's collecting the blood orbs, and when she gets them, she transforms. Now, something to know about her killer is her killer has a terror radius of 0 feet. So you can't detect her. I mean, she still has a stain, but she has no heartbeat. The other thing is, if you're working on a generator or jumping over a pallet or through a window, she can still grab you. So she can grab you or pick you off the ground to hang you. She just can't damage you to put you on the ground. So she's the sneaky beaky. She's going to try and sneaky up on you and grab you on a generator or something. But then, she can activate her transformation.
now, when I'm transformed, I become a lichen, and I have the ability Hyper Strike.
Okay, so she becomes of lichen, gets a terror radius, howls really loud, and gains a new ability called Hyper Strength.
Hyper Strike.
Strike. Hyper Strike. Sorry,
I know.
my right ear.
That's why I'm trying to talk loud so everybody can hear me.
Okay.
Now, the Hyper Strike ability actually has a chance to one-hit down you.
Oh, so her Hyper Strike can, in fact, one-hit down you. It has a chance. It's not a guarantee, but she has a chance of one-hit downing you with it. And what is it exactly? Is it like just like a punch or a scratch or a pounce?
It's kind of like a pounce. Like, you know how, like, cougars and that, they just pounce with their one paw?
Oh, like a jumping strike.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's gonna jump at you with one big claw and go meow. Or sorry, rarf. I'm a dinosaur. No, wait, that's Necro. Sorry, that's Necro.
Now, the reason that I chose the Vampire Lichen Hybrid was my character, unknowingly, is a descendant of Van Helsing.
You hear that, Necro? Maxine's a secret relative of Van Helsing. And you're a relative of Vladimir Dracula. Woo, boy, talking about strange bed folks, eh? That's talking about, that's some angry sex right there. I'll end you first. Harder, choke me harder. Anyway. I don't know who's saying choke me harder, could be either of you two. Anyway. Marcus! No!
Let me watch in on our conversation.
Marcus just my son just screams from the other room, choke me harder! Like, no, Marcus, no, don't repeat Daddy. Don't repeat Daddy. How many times have I told you Daddy's an idiot? Don't repeat me. How many times I gotta tell you that?
Oh boy.
That's gonna get this thing rated real quick if we're not careful.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the reason that her killer is after her is because she's actually an enemy of the entire race.
Without her knowing it, of course.
Without her knowing it, of course.
I didn't change anything with the perks for the killer.
Okay. Just give us a run by the perks real quick, though.
Hex Echo
Hex Echo.
forces survivors to echo previous skill checks. Otherwise, they fail.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. That's a nasty one. Basically, every time you do a skill check, a second skill check will follow that one. The same spot, the same speed, everything.
Bloodhound changes the scratch marks into footprints and handprints.
Oh, I like that
For
one.
better tracking.
I like that one too. Basically, instead of you seeing blood marks on the ground and scratches on the walls, you'll actually see footprints running in that direction and handprints on the walls where they were touching the wall.
And then life sense.
Life sense.
Once a survivor is hooked, it allows the killer to see all survivors 16, 24, or 32 meters until unhooked.
Ah. Basically, it's a trap perk that allows her to see survivors running in for the save.
It's a reverse of Kindred.
It's basically Kindred on acid. So basically, you sneak around, grab people, cut them, drink up their blood, transform into werewolf form, which, by the way, increases her speed as well. And then basically run around and start scratching the hell out of everybody, downing them, putting on hooks. Okay. Evil shenanigans.
My chapter title
Yeah.
is called Life Eternal.
Okay.
For obvious reasons, of course.
Right.
The map is a crypt map with a dilapidated castle in the background.
Right, we were talking about that. That's, of course, where Necro's castle is sitting.
My add-ons consist of one is called Blood Bag.
Okay.
And it shortens the feeding time to 8 seconds.
Okay, so basically, in order to transform into her beast form, she needs to go 17 seconds of absorbing blood. Each blood orb equals a second. Now, these aren't going to be as gigantic as the Onis, where you see them all around. They're much smaller.
Right.
However, with this one, instead of having to grab 17 of those blood orbs, she only has to grab 9. Which means she can transform a lot faster. Which means you have to deal with werewolf form a lot faster, a lot more often.
However, it allows the survivor to hear you within 12 meters.
But doing so, if she has this perk, it's her iridescent, of course. That's actually pretty good. I like that. That seems fair. She loses her invisibility, gains a 12-meter heartbeat. But she needs less, but she'll be spending more time in werewolf form anyway, which has a heartbeat. What's the other one?
And my second iridescent is called Broken Bone.
Okay.
It extends the lichen form time by 8 seconds.
Okay. If I remember correctly, you said lichen form was regularly 10 seconds?
Yeah.
So this will raise it from 10 seconds to 18, nearly doubling how long she stays in werewolf form. So if she has both of them equipped, you're going to be spending a lot more time dealing with the werewolf form than you are with the lichen form, which could actually be more dangerous for you. What about your... That's Amore! That's Amore!
I have 2 different ones.
She has 2 Amores!
Mori number 1, which is for the vampire form.
Okay.
The vampire grabs a hold of you, spins you around to where she could get a hold of your neck. And drains you of all your blood. which also helps fill the blood meter.
Oh, so she has a Mori where she basically jumps you and drains you, but when she drains you, she also fills up some of her blood meter as well. That's cool.
Now for the lichen form, it basically just rips your survivors to shreds.
So basically kind of like Demogorgon, kind of just like lunges at you, bites at your throat, maybe rips an arm off or something. Okay, that's pretty brutal.
So I would like to add something to her hyper strike.
Okay.
So if they are on the final hook, if you hyper strike them, then it does the Mori automatically.
Okay. If you're in werewolf form, you automatically get a Mori. How about that? I'd also like to add the fact that hyper strike is a lot like the Demogorgon's charge attack.
Yeah.
So I think that it should have some of the similarities as well. For instance, you could break a wall with it or break a pallet with it. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have one more set of questions to go through real quick. I don't know if Sub's still here. So, out of all the killers you've heard so far tonight, which killer would be the most fun to go up against? And which killer would be the one you'd have the least amount of fun against? Who do you think? Which of these fine, monstrous killers do you have tonight that you don't think you'd actually want to go up against?
Yours.
Mine? And who do you think would be the most fun to go against?
I really have to say Necro.
Oh, Necro. She says your killer would be fun to go up against.
Seems quite interesting.
Well, I think going up against Deathgasms would be fun.
Okay.
And I think it's a toss-up between Juggernaut or Sub, who I don't want to go against.
Understandable.
Thank you.
Understandable. Well, Sub, since you're there, which killer would you love to go up against, and which one do you think you would really just step out about? You know, you don't want to go up against them.
Fun would be Deathgasms. Interesting would be Bone Bears, and not wanting to go against, honestly, would be yours, Kaiju, because, you know, it's... I like fucking around on maps, let's face it.
All right. Deathgasm. I know you're there. I can see the gameplay.
You're gonna be surprised by which one I actually want to go up against. I want to go up against
mine? Okay.
For the innate reason. I know it would make me change my playstyle, and I feel like it would change the game entirely.
Okay. Now,
With some of your ideas, I think it would change the game entirely.
Right. Now,
least favorite might be between either Juggernauts, Mamas, or Nicks.
Ooh.
They're all packing some potent shit.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, the one I'd probably have the most fun with would be Deathgasms. It's just such a completely different killer design. A killer literally designed to slow and f*** you over. Like, that's what the clown was supposed to be. It was supposed to be that way. He basically just created a far more superior version of the clown. The killer I wouldn't want to make you made the clown look bad, and I appreciate it, and thank you. I would rather main your character than the clown. Now, as for killers I would not want to go up against, honestly, I would probably have to say that it was a two-way tie. I do think that if we had more information from Rebel, hers could really flip the switch. But I have to say, either Subliminals or Necros would probably be the worst two to go up against. For Necro, depending on when he uses his power, could either really screw you over or not. And it's very hard to escape from him, seeing as he has such a large radius of hearing. So, like, if you jump a vault or something halfway across the map, he will know you're there. If you're injured, he can zero in on your grunts of pain. That's pretty powerful. But Subs, on the other hand, you have Sub running around beating people with a controller, which sounds funny and all, but then he doesn't have to worry about putting you on a hook. He can just walk away and leave you there, and his robots will literally throw you on a random hook. Which means a lot of perks like, what's that one that, a lot of those escape perks when you're on the shoulders, like, Heck, you can't use Decisive Strike against the little robot.
Nope.
I think whichever one lets you drop the pallet on them when you're on their shoulder, that one's gone.
That won't work.
Any of those perks where if you're standing near the person they can wiggle faster, those are gone. And of course, you can't go and sabotage the hook they're going to go on because they're going to drop them on a random hook. So it's like a huge game of guess. Basically, he took an ability from Pyramid Head, his cage, and turned it into the hooks. Mama Bears is one of those ones that, kind of like the Oni, it depends on the person you're up against. Deathgasms is just fun. You know, he's not overly powerful, but he will make you piss off and kiss and just like curse his name. Nick, depending on if your power's up or down, depends on what you become. When your power is up, you're very powerful, but when your power goes down, you're basically a bargain basement version of the Death Slinger without any of the add-ons for it.
Yep.
And then there's Sub, who, depending on where he places the robots on the map, can either screw you over really quickly by you getting hit multiple times, or he could spend the entire game on the other side of the map. And like I said, Rebel's a teleporting, get-over-here character, so that can either be really fun or really frustrating. So, you know, everyone had really good ideas. I'm really enjoying the fact that we've had good ideas on our survivors and good ideas on our killers. And on Friday, I will honestly be going onto the page with everyone's characters written down, everyone's perks written down, and I will place them and see what people think about them. And if we get any comments, I'll bring them up.
Okay.
Now, before we go, because we're actually 10 minutes past our usual, which is actually very weird for us.
This was a rather long discussion.
Right, but this is a rather fun one, too. I really enjoyed it. Does anyone have any ideas on what they would like to do for next week?
Item creations.
Item creations for DBD? Okay. I can think of some items or some add-ons. That works. All right.
Think of random teachable perks for both sides as well.
Okay, so we could just have a hodgepodge.
Right.
Items, perks, etc. for no character in general. Okay. I just realized how many different powers everyone screws over. How many perks every character here screws over. Like, dear Lord, the number of powers everyone screws over. Yeah, go ahead and dead hard away from Deathgasm's slime orb coming at you. Oh, what? You stepped into the trap anyway? Oh well. What are you gonna decisive strike? Freaking subliminal there? Nope, his robot's gonna grab you by the ankles. You can't catch him. Sucks to be you. Oh, what? You're gonna try and pallet stun or locker check Mama Bear? Nope, she's gonna crash right through that. And go ahead. Try to just run through the middle of the damn Killer Shack in first-person view and not see the trap I laid by the friggin' window. Yep. So next week we'll just do a hodgepodge of DBD ideas. Maybe think up some new maps or something. Just basically anything you can think of that you want to throw on the table. And while we're there, if we get any comments over the weekend, I'll share them with you guys there.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that means we're going to have to stop this. So until next time, folks, I'm Kaiju K.
You're Nick.
Deathgasm.
I'm Mama Bear.
And for Rebel Vanity and Juggernaut Jared, everyone have your